All right, well, as you saw, that was my audience. First, I'm going to hand out my outlines for my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you can see, this is my leadership and communication presentation. So, my introduction. Have you ever wondered what makes a good leader and how to become one? Have you ever had a boss that you either liked or disliked? I'm here to inform you about the different types of leaders and how they work. The reason to listen is it will help you decide what type of leader is best suited for you. I have read and completed assignments for chapter 1 through 13 in Understanding Human Communication by Robert Adler and COM 101 Fundamentals of Oral Communication, along with other outside resources like different places where I've worked with different types of leaders. So the main points are the different leadership styles and characteristics that come with each, also group communication and different roles that they play. So first I want to start by discussing what actually makes a good leader. According to the textbook, Understanding Human Communication, leaders are remarkably humble. They are content to let others take the spotlight and are quick to say they are still learning and growing. According to this article, what is a leader? What do they do? And how do you become one? A leader is someone who inspires people. It's someone with a vision, a path to realizing it. A leader is who ensures their team and supports and gives them the tools to achieve their goal. A leader will empower their team members to be unique in their leadership qualities and to achieve their goals. The role of a leader is dependent on many factors, such as the size of their team, organization, or base. It is also dependent on their goals and values and what they want to achieve as a leader. In general, a leader can be there to encourage and inspire and to even coach other people. This can be challenging at times, but a good leader will motivate their team regardless and make sure each person makes it through to the end. Question: why is leadership important? Leaders introduce change, and change doesn't happen naturally. Without change, learning and growing will never occur. Now that we have a good understanding of what makes a good leader, let's discuss the different leadership types, their characteristics, and their approaches. The characteristics of a leader include the following: a good listener, open to innovation, able to work well with teams, good at facilitating change, appreciative of diversity, honest and ethical. As you might have noticed, all these have to do with communication, which is something that we'll get into later. There are 4 different approaches a leader can take. The approaches include the first, authority and leadership. It's based on a leader's position and ability to offer rewards or punishment. It's a type of approach where the team members are relatively powerless and are expected to follow the orders of the all-powerful leader. The second approach, democratic leadership, describes leaders who encourage others to share in decision-making. This is a dynamic where people work together. The third approach, laissez-faire leadership, reflects a leader's willingness to allow team members to function independently and to make decisions on their own. The fourth approach, servant leadership. It is based on the perspective that the leader's job is mostly to recruit outstanding team members and to provide the support they need to do a good job. Each of these approaches can be effective in some situations. Each approach has its own pros and cons, and it's up to the individual to pick what type of leadership they want. The different leadership types are situational leadership, which holds the leader's style and should change with circumstance. People who do this, emergent leaderships, gains influence without being appointed by higher-ups. Impoverished leaders. This type of leader has little interest in either task or relationship. This is something that's common with new or inexperienced leaders. This is something that can be said for leaders who want everything done perfectly and done their way. Country club leaders. These leaders exhibit high regard for their relationships, but give little attention to task fulfillment. Their primary goal is to keep members happy and to maintain harmony. Authority obedient leaderships. This is also another case where the leader takes the approach of not making relationships, and this is positive depending on the situation. Middle of the road leaders. This is the type of leader that takes a middle approach to it, or moderate interest in both tasks and relationships. Team leaders. These leaders are typically the most most successful. They exhibit high regard for both tasks and relationships. Transformational leaderships. A leader's devotion to helping a team fulfill their potential. Now I will go into detail about communication and why it's important to have it in teams and groups. Groups play a bigger role in your life than you may imagine. This can include formal or informal groups. Small groups are limited to a number of people who interact with one another over time to reach a shared goal. Teams are just like a group, but they take it to a higher level. A team tends to be unified by higher committed members and leaders who work together to pursuing a clear, inspiring, and lofty goals. Teamwork can be rewarding, but not all groups need to work in teams. If the goal is simple and not challenging, a group can get the work done just as effectively. There are rules, norms, or even roles in a group or team, but the thing that ties all of them together is communication. Without communication, a group or team wouldn't be able to function properly or ever get anything done. Conclusion. Thank you for letting me talk to you guys and talk about leadership and communication and how you can implement the different types into your own life. The main points are the different leadership styles and characteristics, also group communication and the different roles that they play. You can use what you learned today to understand and apply the types of leader is best suited for you. And here I have another thing right here to show you guys. So leadership and communication, main points, different leadership styles and characteristics, group communication, and the different roles that they play. Tips and strategies for an effective leadership skills. Engage in honest and open communication. Connect with your team members. Keep a positive attitude. And encourage personal and professional growth. Thank you for letting me speak.